Welcome back to A Life Unpacked. It is Saturday today. I am at the gym. I am about to go into my body balance class, but after this, I have to run to Lowe's, and we're gonna get some stain and like a sprayer. I'm gonna be restaining the deck at Jeff's dad's house tomorrow, so that'll be something fun to do this week. A few other things to look forward to is I have hydrotherapy with Asher again. I do want to sit down and actually talk about his process and what he's doing and the things that we're doing and going through as a whole complete thing. So hopefully this week I'll actually have time to sit down and talk about that. And Jeff will be home this week, so come along. Can you see me through the foliage? Come closer. Okay, so I'm gonna do a little bit of planting. I have a few house plants that are looking a little worse for wear, so they really need to get into better containers. So we're gonna do that really quick. Let's start with these succulents. I did buy 2 new succulent friends to go with my already existing one because the other ones died off. So I figured we need a party. So, and now I'm thinking that this little pot might be too small for these guys, but I think they like to be overcrowded, so it might be okay. And last but not least, the love fern. Jeff got me this plant during our anniversary this year. The pot that they sent it in was way too small for it. She's getting a big upgrade. She's all done. All right, so let's clean these pots up, clean up our mess, and then I'll show you what they all look like. It's a few days later. It is now Thursday. Last I talked to you was on Sunday. I finished up my week with Phil, Jeff's dad. Jeff came home last night, so he's officially back on duty over at the other house with him. But I still have some stuff to do over there, so I'm actually heading over there now. I'm going to, I have a lot of things that I'd like to get done over there. However, I don't know if I'm going to get them all done. I always have an ambitious list, and then once I actually start it, I realize I can't actually complete everything that I want to set out to do. I want to stain the deck. I bought stain a few days ago, so I need to work on cleaning off the deck and restaining that. I bought this dresser thing. It's these are metal, and then the drawers are not plastic, fabric drawers. This was a cheap $50 thing that I bought on a Walmart site. What we want to do with that is Jeff doesn't have very good storage in the room that he's staying in over there. So his clothes are just kind of piled on the floor. So that's going to put all of his clothes in it for the time being while he's living over there. So I also have some green beans to plant over there and a tomato to plant over there for them. I would also like to clean out there's some planter boxes around the porch. Those at least need to get cleaned out. I don't know if I'm going to get to the greenhouse to purchase anything right now. I would like to, but I feel like that's a little bit ambitious for today. So let's go over there, see how long it just takes to I'm going to put together this dresser thing first because I need Jeff to help me move some things off the back porch, and he's in a meeting till at least 10. And then what I'll do is I will do the staining afterwards. So let's get going. Okay, this is what we're working with here. I need to clear this off. You can see how much it's kind of worn the past couple of years. All set up. We're gonna try this, see how it goes. not too bad. I definitely need to clean up some spots that I got, but easier than I thought it was going to be. So we'll show you what it looks like when it's done, before and after. Okay, we are done for now. I want to stain these 2 window boxes. They're plastic, but I figured it would look good, and I need to come back to repaint this white post. So I'm going to let this dry and then repaint this with a brush. Obviously I missed a spot here. I'll have to get that too. But I'm going to need to come back. There's a post there in the middle that I missed. I'm going to come back on Monday and touch up spots that I missed, and I need to fix this corner. This needs to get put in, but you know, we got a good main coat done. See, I did these, and I like the way that these look. So those are looking good. And then I did the 2 benches, so those are good. Oh, this needs a touch up right there. Oh, and I missed a hole in this section. Look at this. Oh no. That's all right. I already cleaned up. I'll do it on Monday. I'm going to let it dry, and then I can get up there and really get all the spots that are missing. And yeah, that's it for now. I am exhausted. Oh, I don't want to do that again. That was really hard work. I ended up having to go back to Lowe's and get more paint stain because I only bought a gallon for some reason. I was like, oh, we used a gallon last time. We did not use a gallon last time. We must have used 5 gallons because I bought a 5-gallon, and I think I have about a gallon left. So I'm gonna head home, and I need to take a shower and then rest. I'm beat, but it was a good workout, I guess. So one thing I really want to do today is I want to clean this garage. We need to repair my snowblower. My brother-in-law is going to help me. So he wanted me to clean out the whole garage, so then that way we can like lay out all the parts, and it may sit here for a little bit while we order parts. This is kind of what we're working with. I have a lot of like just garbage stuff that needs to be organized over here. The bikes can probably be put you know, in here a little bit better where they're fitting a little nicer, so then that way I can have some more space. I'll have to see how I do that. And then I've got a bunch of like random other things kind of back here. And then obviously there's a lot of dirt on the ground, so this needs to get like swept out. The other side does have a lot of just random stuff that just needs to be kind of cleaned up and organized. So let's do this. New garage, who dis? So this is all clean on this side now. I put the recycling down here instead of on top of the refrigerator, which is a lot easier to access. And then we've got the bikes parked more in and all of this cleaned out. So now we have so much space for activities. It is now a few days later. It's Saturday today, so this is actually the end of the week. But I'm just about ready to go to the gym here in about a half an hour. But I wanted to sit down and do a little bit of talking about Asher, because I said I would talk about him a little bit more, and B, I wanted to talk about my reading. So let's start with Asher. So let's kind of do the whole story for anyone who hasn't been following along. But in October, Asher tore his CCL, which is kind of similar to an ACL in humans. He was chasing a rabbit in the backyard and he tore it. He went in for some x-rays. And from there, we started to seek different options for him. We had an appointment 3 months later with a surgeon, and we were going to go the route of surgery. And then last minute, right before, like the day before x-rays for the surgery, we had another emergency with the other dog. And I happened to be in the emergency clinic, and I talked to another corgi owner who highly recommended that I seek another alternative for him and maybe look at red light therapy and hydrotherapy. Now, red light therapy and hydrotherapy were already on the table during surgery. So the surgery was going to happen, and then we would start into red light therapy and hydrotherapy afterwards for him as part of his recovery. So recovery from surgery takes anywhere from like 3 to 4 months typically. So she suggested we just go right to the therapy and see if he has strong enough muscles to basically compensate for the tear. So we started him on the red light therapy, and he's been doing fairly well with that. He does the red light therapy. We had 3 sessions of that. We've used 2 of them. The 3rd session we're saving in case he has a day where it's a little bit harder on him. However, we can buy a red light therapy machine to have at the house, which I'm probably going to be doing here. I haven't done that yet. I just haven't gotten over to the store. I'll probably do that next week, actually, on Tuesday, because I have the day off of work. So he's been doing the hydrotherapy. We have 10 sessions of that. We're about halfway through those sessions at this point. So he's going to be going to once a week. We were doing twice a week. Now we're doing once a week. And so far he's been doing really good with that. He's shown improvement. He's been able to increase his speed and his distance. Aerith wants to tell us all about it also. Hi. Oh, I know. We are just, she just wants the attention to be on her and on nobody else. So anyway, yes, so his therapist is really happy with his progress. He has been taking injections of a joint supplement to help aid with the healing of that joint, as well as taking some joint like pill supplements daily also. So he'll stay on the pill supplements probably for the rest of his life. And the injections will be stopping here shortly. I've been doing them twice a week. I'm going to be going to once a week. Kind of goes with the flow of the hydrotherapy. Anyway, so things are looking really good for Asher. I'm really happy with his progress and where he's ending up. Now, let's talk about some books. I haven't talked about books in a while. So if you're not interested, you can go to this timestamp here, and we will... I'll try not to give any spoilers, but sometimes I tend to because I'm just not thinking about what I'm saying. I really try not to spoil. Okay, so I don't know where I left off with as far as like what I've been reading or what I finished. I was doing really good about updating every week, and now all of a sudden I'm just like, have I talked about any of my reading recently? I don't know. Anyway, I did finish Gold by Raven Kennedy a little while ago. I'm pretty sure I talked about that. I'm now on to Goldfinch. So I'm currently reading Goldfinch. This is the last book in the Played Prisoner series. Right now, I'm about halfway through that. We're pretty much kind of coming to the point where storylines are starting to wrap up, it seems like. They're finishing some. They're kind of alluding to where others are going to be going. I'm ready for this series to be over at this point, honestly. I liked it up until probably Gold. Then it introduced the Seventh Kingdom, the Eighth Kingdom. I don't know what it is. The Fairy Kingdom of Anwen. Once they introduced Anwen, the storylines were going all over the place, and I was just like, I don't know if I care about this storyline. You know, and the unfortunate thing is that it's kind of like Arin's storyline. I was more interested in the side character storylines at that point, so I wasn't really invested in it. So I'm just kind of like, okay, let's wrap it up. Clearly, it's going to come to an end. I'm assuming it's going to be we're going to kill the king and the world is going to be better and Arin and Slater are going to rule the world and everybody's going to live happily ever after the end. So that's what I'm planning on it basically being. We'll see where it goes, and then I'm ready to get started onto another series. I finished Project Hail Mary, which was a fantastic book. I really enjoyed everything about that. I think I spoke about that already. So that was my audiobook. So I have now moved on to the Dungeon Crawler Carl book. This is The Butcher's Masquerade. I'm not certain what number book this is. Let me see if it tells me on my app here. Butcher's Masquerade is the 5th book of the Dungeon Crawler Carl series. I do know that they just came out with the 8th book, which I think there's supposed to be 10 books in this whole series. So I am kind of catching up on them at this point. I am enjoying this story. I like the environment. It's very like jungle-esque, and it's the hunting hunting grounds level. So they're really they're not only like dealing with mobs in the area, but now they're also dealing with hunters that are hunting them specifically, and the hunters are people from the outside universe that's watching the dungeon crawl. So Donut and Carl are trying to navigate not only the mobs but also being hunted by these hunters. So it's creating some interesting story arcs within their own characters that they like, in their own friends that they have. I'm interested in what this Butcher's Masquerade is that's supposed to be happening at the end. It's supposed to be like a party, but clearly it's going to be some kind of trap, I'm sure. So that's what we're reading there. We did Goldfinch. I still have a bad deal for The Whole Galaxy, 50% in. I meant to go to read that after I finished Spell Shop. But honestly, I picked it up for 2 seconds and I was like, I can't be bothered with this one. I don't know why. Probably just because I came off of Project Hail Mary and now I was like, I don't want to go back to another sci-fi. So I do need to get back to that. I promise I will get back to that next. As soon as Goldfinch is over, I'll probably get back to that. So then I actually ended up going to, instead of reading that book, I went to Strange Houses. This book was so weird. I liked it. It's mixed media. So it's like the story of a house in Japan, and it's got like strange elements to it. So it's kind of like these two people kind of theory crafting what's going on with this house and why it was designed this way. And that creates kind of like a murder mystery type of situation. And you kind of learn more and more about the history of these houses and stuff like that. And super intrigued. I read it in like a day. It was super fast read for me. So I picked up the second book, which is called Strange Buildings. Now this one, again, it's very similar, where it's got mixed media. It's got some pictures to describe the houses, and the But this one is like following like 11, there's like 11 chapters or 12 chapters, and each one is its own story, and then all kind of connected somehow. So it said in the very beginning, like, see if you can figure out the connection between these chapters and stories as you go along. So a couple of them have started to kind of merge together, where I'm like, oh, that's from that chapter and this is from this chapter. So it's kind of getting there. I'm about halfway through right now. I am going to sit down and read this right now before I go to the gym. I've got like about a half hour before I have to leave. So I'm going to sit down and read this for a little bit today. But yeah, this has been a really interesting one. I do have the other book also by this author. Author also wrote another book called Strange Pictures, I believe it's called. Yeah, Strange Pictures is another book by this author. So I'm going to probably eventually read that. Probably not right after these. I feel like I kind of need a little bit of a palate cleanser from this author at this point. So that's kind of my plan with this. So yes. As for the rest of today, I think I'm going to, Jeff is going to come over close to noon. He wants to take a shower. He needs to bring over some laundry. And I'm going to be working on making a lunch and dinner for Jeff and Phil. So we're going to be making some sloppy Joe sliders, and Jeff wanted a beef bibimbap made, so I got the ingredients for both of those recipes. I'm going to be making those this afternoon and dropping them off. And then what I would like to do is I would like to maybe get a little bit of cleaning done around here. I really focused heavily on the garage yesterday and got that done, and then I did the backyard. But now I need to, the sink needs to be finished. I've been doing laundry all morning, so we're getting some laundry done and taken care of. But each of the spaces kind of just needs a little bit of a tidy up. Like right here in the living room, I'm just looking. I've got in my yoga mat sitting right here, and there's dog toys all over the floor. And there's some clothes and books around that just need to be picked up. So I do want to just tidy up around the house and kind of get a lot of things taken care of before going into next week. I do go back to work on Wednesday, so I have a couple of more days here. And we're going to be having like a little bit of a get together with, just the family, the four of us, on Memorial Day. So we're going to have a little hot dog barbecue action here going on at the house, just the four of us. So I'm sure that'll be exciting next week. And then it's back to work. So I have to make sure that I get my space all kind of like reset. I'll probably do most of my reset tomorrow. So you'll see that in next week's vlog. But as far as this goes, I thank you so much for joining me this week. Still getting in the groove with the new camera. I'm doing a couple little things. I know I was half the week absent because I was just taking care of Phil and I just didn't want to invade his privacy too much. But I'm getting there. I'm enjoying vlogging. I'm enjoying seeing the camera. The only thing I notice is, oh my gosh, this camera is so good with its crispness that I'm like, you can see every blemish on my face, and I'm like, oh my gosh, don't look at me. So yeah, it's very humbling, needless to say. So, but that's okay. That's okay, right? Yes. Oh, you are so cute. She is just so cute. Oh, I love her so much. All right. Well, thank you so much, friends. We will see you next week. Have a good one. Bye.